Ay, 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 I like your coconut. Your plumpy, juicy raisins are divine. Your apple sliced bananas and your hazelnuts. Quiche de colo is divine. Cha-cha-cha. Hello and welcome to L by Sexted, my boss, the podcast where we help you navigate the challenges of modern life, answering your 21st century questions and finding solutions to those everyday dilemmas. Like, how does it feel to be the first winner of the Diva Espana competition? And is it okay to deliver a birthday present a week after a birthday?
Oh, who's committed that crime? What's inspired that then?
Right, I need to post my mum's birthday card. Sugar.
And your Father's Day card, which we've already had.
Sugar. And what should you do if you've accidentally sexted your boss? But we're not your usual agony ants, are we? William Hanson, the UK's leading etiquette expert.
No, we're not Jordan North, radio and television presenter. I'm more Sunday best. You're more string vest.
I've never worn a string vest in my life.
You did just tell me, though, that you have ordered new vests.
Yeah, because now that I'm getting the old back lasered,
Right.
I'm going to start wearing a couple of vests.
Oh, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my shoulders looked a bit like you're parting. My shoulders could have had a comb over.
Excuse me, I do not have a comb.
No,
over.
you don't. Your hair looks... By the way, I keep meaning to say your hair looks great at the moment.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you also to Elizabeth.
How was Turkey?
It's not been.
No, we'll go together.
Yes.
We'll get it sponsored.
We'll get bog off.
Yeah, buy one, get one free. We'll get it sponsored and we'll take a load of receding G&Divas with us. And next year it'll be a trip to Turkey instead of Benidorm.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
And we can all go and get like plastic surgery.
Yes, we come back looking like Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
fantastic.
a great idea.
Okay, also thanks to Elizabeth Virtue who sent in that Sunday Best string vest one. What is happening with my voice? This is the third week on the trot. It starts to go a bit like I promise you, a fag has never touched these lips. But still, Anyway, maybe I need a drink. Talking of cigarettes, we shall have our G&D, 1 part gin, 2 parts Stefano.
Oh, yeah.
What?
No, you just reminded me of something.
You going to take some of that wine?
I'm going to take some Bonnet home with me, if you don't mind. Have we got enough bottles?
Yeah, probably.
For what?
Yeah, why are you taking Devonne home?
My honour.
Okay.
What's it to do with you? Sorry, that was really...
Well, should we toast our first winners?
Sorry, that was horrible.
No, it's fine. I'm used to it. Should we toast our first
Yes,
first
please.
winners? Alice and Melissa. Alice won via Amazon Music, and Melissa won via the standard feed. We'll see you in Benidorm, girls.
Oh, their reactions were absolutely amazing when they won.
Yes, lost for words. Oh, delicious. Now, remember, we are doing Diva Espana with Amazon Music on Sexted My Boss. As part of our 5th birthday celebrations, we're having a long weekend of sexted fun in Benidorm. And the best bit is you can join in the celebrations as well.
Why did you not say shenanigans?
Because you know I don't like the word.
What's wrong with... It says here on the script we're having a long weekend of sexted shenanigans.
I know, I changed it.
Okay.
A sexted celebration, if you want the alliteration.
So me, William, producer Ben, and yourself, your good
Producer Benidorm.
self... Sorry, producer Benidorm could be there as well. It says here in brackets, banter.
I mean, how much more Benidorm banter do they want?
Thanks to Amazon Music, we're taking a load of lucky G&Divas on holiday to the Costa Blanca with travel and hotel.
Costa Blanca?
Is that not what it's called?
Costa Blanca.
Oh, Costa
or Costa
Blanca.
Blanca, we will accept.
With travel and hotel accommodation sorted. Plus, you'll get to be at an exclusive live podcast recording as we raise a G&D to 5 years of Sexted. That's if you can actually get in, because Wendy's put down about 40 tickets for half of...
Right, for the live recording.
Half of Arbaleas are coming over.
Half of what?
Arbaleas. That's
Arbaleas?
the village she lives in.
Oh, I see.
In,
Do you want to give out the address as well?
No, yeah, probably shouldn't actually, because it's a very tiny village. I always find she tells anyone that passed her. At some point in today's episode, you'll hear producer Benidorm's Big Bing Bong, and that will have the Diva Espana code. You'll need to enter the prize draw. It's dead easy to do. It's not hard at all. Plus, there's another chance to win on Amazon Music.
Yes, so if you want a second Diva Espana code to enter the prize draw twice, you are allowed to enter twice, then just listen to Sexted on Amazon Music and be ready for producer Ben's big one or whatever it is.
Big Bing Bong.
Big bong.
Big
whatever.
Bing Bong.
Yeah.
Hard.
It's alliterative and
It's hard. I beg your pardon.
Producer Ben's big one is not hard, he has just told us. So that is good to know. I don't like dressing for this weather.
Oh, okay. Is that how we're going? Is that how we're starting?
I'm just going to go straight
Oh,
in.
okay. Are you struggling?
I don't do hot weather.
No, you don't, because you're blonde.
No.
So my nephews.
I'm
both,
English, I think I find.
My nephews are both blonde, and blondes naturally hate the heat. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't like being too hot, and thus I find dressing very difficult. So today I'm in a nice sort of mid-blue, almost an Air Force blue for those that know their colours.
Air Force blue.
Polo top, with my pasty arms out.
Okay.
And it's fine, but I was too cold coming in because the Elizabeth line is very well air conditioned.
Oh,
Yes.
lucky you.
And then you come into the studio, you go outside, you're too hot. So you're never a comfortable temperature, and I refuse to wear shorts.
Why won't you?
Because shorts are for holidays, in my opinion.
You could wear shorts today.
I'm not on holiday.
That
said, I won't be wearing them in Benidorm.
Now, during the week at work, even though it's Radio 1, I probably wouldn't wear shorts during the week.
Right.
But if I was on at weekends, I would.
Why?
Don't know.
Are you going to wear one of your vests into work?
No, God, no. No.
I'd love to see what happens if you did.
How are you coping at night time?
We've got the air conditioning unit on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We turn that on now. It's also the dehumidifier, but in the summer it becomes an air conditioning unit.
You know, we were talking about hay fever last week, and I think it's getting worse. Hear me out here, is hay fever just a British thing?
No, I think hay fever is... okay, so...
No, I don't. Carry on what we're going to say.
No, I think a lot of people in other countries have hay fever.
I don't, right? So I think
Okay.
it's just... So in Britain, you go for drinks,
Conspiracy theory corner.
and you've got Sue's nose dripping like a leaky tap. She's like, I love you, all right, I love you, just a Prosecco for me. And everyone's like double dropping antihistamines and stuff, and you've got all those sniffer things you put up.
Yeah,
It's-
your Beckonaise.
Yeah, it feels like such a British thing. Whereas, like when you watch an advert for an Italian beer, or you go to Spain, you could never imagine a chic Italian having a glass of wine like we do outside, struggling with hay fever. I think it's just a British thing. Can you imagine Italian like, hey, arrivederci, cheers. You just couldn't imagine it.
No, but I'm sure it happened. Yeah, but you're not going to put a sneeze in an advert for wine.
No,
are
I'm
you?
just saying in general. I don't think Germans get hay fever. I don't. I think it's just a British thing. You just cannot imagine Mediterranean, cool, sexy, chic people sniffling and snot. You just can't, I'm pretty sure it's a British thing.
Where is the evidence for this coming from?
Well, I'm telling you. No.
Yeah, but what has inspired? What?
Just everybody in Britain, most people are suffering. I don't get it bad, but
But you've got no evidence for this.
Any
You've gone to the Prince Harry school of thought, where you're going to say something, but there's actually no evidence to back it up.
Right, that's a bit harsh. And let's not get involved in that. Any Spanish, Germans, or Italians listening, we'll start there. Is hay fever a thing in your country?
Let us know.
I don't think it is.
That'll be a fantastic bonus we all look forward to.
I don't think it is. I think it's just a British thing. It's so British, and it's so annoying.
Okay. Well,
You just when you wake up in the morning, feel like someone's sitting on your chest,
maybe they are.
and you're like, "Oh God, it's gonna be a bad day." So British.
Okay, and how's your week been?
Yeah, good. I had my barbecue at the weekend that no one come to.
Yeah.
No, at the time of recording, I've got my barbecue coming up, right? And it's either there's going to be 4 people there. None of you lot are coming, thanks.
We're busy. We got invited with like a week to go.
Or it's going to be 50 people, so I don't quite know how to shop for it. I've had the garden done.
How many have you invited?
About 50.
Right.
And there's a lot of maybes.
Well, no.
I've had my bush trimmed.
Good.
Yeah. Grow up.
Did you do it yourself, or did you get someone in?
I did it myself. I need to get the garden done as well. That's the point.
You can't. Maybes don't work. I would say maybe it's a no. Basically, they just don't
Okay.
want to say no.
Right.
But I would message them and go, I need to know for numbers. Could you let me know within 24 hours whether you're coming or not?
I've ordered a wobbly bucket as well.
A what?
You know those builders buckets, what they called the wobbly buckets, so everyone can put the beers in.
Oh, yeah, like a silicon bucket.
Yeah. They're
Okay.
good. Top tip Gene Divas. You get them on Amazon for like a $5.
It's like we have a fridge.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we just they can just go in the fridge.
No, because you've got all barbecue stuff in there, haven't you?
Okay.
So yeah,
You've got a big fridge though.
All right. Go on
What?
weird when you start talking about my house, don't I?
Yeah, and it's a big fridge.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is quite.
it's nice. It's good. It was empty, but it was a big fridge. Okay, so you got your barbecue.
Yeah, got that.
Are you good on the barbecue?
I'm all right. I can. Yeah.
Do you need people to tell you how good you are on the barbecue when you're?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to do sausages, burgers,
Yes.
chicken marinated the night before
Okay.
in a paella mix. Funnily enough,
In a paella mix.
We've got some paella seasoning from
What,
Billa
rice all over it?
No, it's like this seasoning that they use in Spain. But I'm going to put my chicken in that.
Salt.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
From Billa Michelle, off of Arbelayas. I'm going to do some sweet corn. Going to get some coleslaw, sorry, and potato
Coleslaw is what we
salad.
had the other week.
And I'm going to make a Greek salad. And I don't know whether to do jacket potatoes or not.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah, but you need to zhuzh it up a bit, don't you?
A Greek salad. Just put some feta in.
That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Oh,
Just
okay.
chop some feta in.
I did a lovely baked feta that my friend and colleague Joe recommended.
Oh, okay.
Delicious. That was our dinner last night.
So I've got the barbecue coming up. Also, this week, at the weekend, I went to see a live podcast show.
You went to see a live podcast show?
Do you know what?
Can you remember when we did those?
Yeah. Do you know what? It was very, very good. Really funny.
Do we get to know who it was?
It was Older and Wider with Jenny Eclair and Judith Holder. And
Oh, yes.
It basically made me realise what we've got to look forward to in 20 years. All
20 years?
Yeah, all their listeners, like our G and Divas, are really loyal. They're all in like their mid-50s, early 60s, right? I was pretty much the youngest in there, felt like Zac Efron. Okay. I was at the bar with buttons undone on shirt, like, hey, how you doing? Like, it was good for the... Kind of got dragged along. I've listened to quite a few episodes as well.
I like Jenny Clare and I love Judith Holder. She used to produce the Grumpy Old Women
Yeah,
series.
well, that's how they met. That's how they met. And they now do this podcast together. And it's absolutely hilarious. It was so funny. Like, genuinely laugh out loud funny. They talk about everything. From menopause to pubic hair. Apparently,
We've never talked about the menopause.
No, apparently as you get older, your pubes get a bit, like, wiry and... give them a little comb over, which I found. I don't want to give
Like
too
your
much.
back.
I don't want to give too much away, but it was a very fun show, and they give you a little goodie bag as well.
Oh, right.
So they do.
We don't do that.
They do older and wider bingo.
Okay.
So like every time. So I don't want to give too much away actually because it's not fair on them. So
No.
And then they ask you to fill out. This is what is the best thing about getting older, and what is the worst thing.
Gosh.
And also in it,
Oh,
you
there's
get some
more.
little flapjacks and fruit salad sweets.
Well, they're gone.
So I went to watch them. It was really fun. It's given me the... I'm not saying anything, but I know we're both busy and we've got a lot going on, especially with the podcast, the book and everything. But
And our actual careers.
I think we should maybe look into touring again soon.
Oh.
What do you
Hold the
think?
front page.
I reckon, and it'll be a while yet by the time we get, and we give out little goodie bags like that. What do you think?
I love the fact it's the goodie bag that's clinched the deal for Jordan.
I think we should all go to see it. We've got a lot to learn. So we have. They were honestly, it was so funny.
They probably turn up for rehearsals. What?
I turn up for rehearsals, and if we go on tour again, we're not using cue cards. I think I'm too reliant on the cue cards.
Okay.
We just rehearse.
Should we just have the production meeting on the podcast about this?
Also, moving on. Am I a mumbler?
Are you a mumbler?
Yeah, we've had a few
tweets.
We've had a few tweets and comments
Well, I sit...
saying that our sound's all over the place. This production is run like a well-oiled machine, but there's somebody keeps tweeting saying I mumble and I'm too low, you're too loud, and you can't hear Ben. Well, Ben's in the background.
You're not meant to hear
You're
Ben.
not meant to hear Ben.
Okay.
Don't
worry about him.
Am I a mumbler?
I don't think you're a mumbler.
And then people say it's...
I often sit closer to the microphone,
Oh, okay.
and you're slightly more... We have different microphone technique.
Yeah.
I use it.
What? Right. Anyway, am I sorry to any Gene Divas that have been having sound issues. Apparently someone's like been riding the sound.
Lucky sound.
Yeah.
As you know, at the weekend I went to go and see my parents in their new house, and they've been doing a lot of unboxing.
Welcome to the bungalow.
Actually, you haven't done that for a while.
Hello, darlings. Come on into the bungalow. Bungalow.
It's not the bungalow.
It's Brian and Sarah in the bungalow. CBBC's every Saturday mornings, 9:25, darlings.
The bungalow is where they were temporarily. They've now moved into the house they were redoing. They have, in fact, they have 2 staircases now.
Oh, wow. Tell everyone how many doors they've had.
They have. I think we're on door 4, front door number 4.
In
fact, it's not gone up yet.
They're all common. White PVC door for me, darling, is not what I want. I did not expect to move into a house with a white PVC door. What do you expect me to do? Wipe it down?
Anyway, so they've done a lot of clearing out, and there were a few boxes for me to look through. And I found various things that I knew about or have forgotten about. We've talked about this on the podcast before, but I thought I'd bring it in. This here is my school tie, which I, for those that have not heard the original story, all the school ties were polyester, and I thought that was a bit common. So I sent off, in the summer holidays one year, I sent off my school tie and had it reproduced by the Cambridge collection, shout out to them, in silk. So I could wear it in silk and not in polyester.
Oh, it does feel better.
So much better, and I wish I had a polyester version to show you.
You should wear that.
It's a nice tie.
It's a nice tie.
It's a perfectly nice tie.
It's a nice tie.
In fact, Mikey quite liked it. And then, of course, my brother, when he went into 6th form and I had left, he said, "Oh, can I wear your silk tie?" And being the generous brother I was, I said no, because I had paid for these ties. There were 2 of them. One of them has sadly disintegrated, but this one is still a collector's item.
I need to get a nice tie for my graduation.
For your you're not graduating. You're being presented with a fellowship.
For my honorary degree.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You must have ties.
I do, but I need a nice one like that. Can I wear that?
No. I also found
a butt plug. Dirty get.
Can you remember? Back in 2004, you may not remember, but after 9/11, which obviously was very sad, the British government...
Where are we going here with this?
Just stick with it. The British government issued, and they were free, and you could apply for all of them, they issued a Preparing for Emergencies What You Need to Know pack.
Oh, okay.
And being the British government, it was available in all different languages. So I ordered it in every language, including Urdu, including Arabic, English, Welsh, and including this version, which I brought in today, which is the Braille version of what to do in an emergency.
What were you? Why? You were one weird
I was a very
kid.
odd child in 2004.
So you ordered how many versions of these?
I had one in every language, and I thought I'd bring in the Braille version.
Braille? Always. Oh, that's quite...
I mean, hands off to anyone who can read Braille, because, I mean, I can't do anything with this, but obviously I don't know Braille. But it's good to know. I took counter-terrorism very seriously as a child, and issued these. I think there was one in every bedroom at home that I put in my parents' original house that they've now left, so people knew what to do in case of emergency.
Yeah, I'm just having a go at...
I mean, good on you. You've got to go really slowly to actually read it. I think it's very clever.
Getting bad vibes from this. I can just feel it. I like that. I'd like to learn Braille.
Well, take that home and you can learn your counter-terrorism vocabulary in Braille.
When this all ends for me, I'm going to learn Braille and piano.
Okay. Well, that's good. I also found a letter I wrote to the Driving Standards Agency in 2007.
Do your mum and dad keep all this?
It was. I think I had kept it in my to keep file.
There's also...
Now, hang on. So, what?
Someone's scribbled something on there.
Oh, I've put train times on the back. I've obviously written train times on the back. Wow, you can get a train for £39.20
Jesus!
Back in this day. You can't
wow!
Anymore. Anyway.
Thatcher's Britain.
So this is the response that the Driving Standards Agency sent me. And I don't have my original letter, but I'm going to read it out to you, and it will give you a rough idea of what I wrote in about. This is from March 2007. Dear Mr. Hanson, thank you for your letter received on the 22nd of February. Unfortunately, all candidates are not allowed to wear any coats or jackets, including suit jackets and hooded tops, when sitting the driving theory test. This is done solely for protecting the integrity of the test and not for any discriminative reasons against any theory test candidates. However, candidates may be allowed to sit the test with a hooded top in a case where they have nothing else underneath, and this is also done according to the test staff's discretion. Also, our organisation's name is Driving Standards Agency, brackets DSA. Unfortunately, this is not spelt with an apostrophe as you suggested. We would like to thank you for your comments, and they have been
the shade. The absolute shade from the DVLA.
Well, it should have an apostrophe, and I stand by that. They will help improve the level of customer service provided to all our theory test candidates. Policies and procedures are continually reviewed and evaluated. Yours sincerely, Ken O'Connor, Correspondence Team Leader.
Ken O'Connor, if you're listening right now, can we track this down? Because that is absolutely brilliant. The fact that he put that about the apostrophe. So you wrote to...
I think from memory, I turned up in a jacket and a shirt to do my theory test. And I was told I needed to remove my jacket because it has pockets on it. And thus I could be concealing answers within it. Okay, fine. Bit irritating. It didn't. You can check my pockets, but whatever. Not a problem. I will acquiesce. What I then found annoying was that clearly someone sitting in the test centre was in a hoodie, which has that big central pocket. And I was like, oh, hang on. That's a huge, great big pocket. Why have you allowed him and you have not allowed me?
So you wrote them a letter?
So I wrote them a letter.
And how old were you?
2007, so I was 17.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
Well, we're not going into that.
Okay, right. But you definitely weren't 17, were you?
No. So, yes.
Sorry, that was a bit of a personal question.
No, it's fine. We'll turn it back on you.
No, we're not going there. But, wow. Okay, so at 17 you wrote them a...
I wrote them a letter saying that I felt it was unfair that I was made to remove my very smart jacket, and I felt it was discrimination, versus... And hence why he mentions discriminative, and also that there was missing an apostrophe in their name, which they are still. They might have rebranded by now.
How old was you when you passed your driving?
17.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I
passed my theory first time, despite the very hard circumstances of the test centre, clearly. But then it took me 5 times to pass my actual test.
So you had to do theory again?
No, the theory was fine.
I passed my theory. I did it 3 times, but I passed them both because it took me so many years to learn to drive. I had to redo them. How old was I when I passed my driving test? 20, I think I was 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
What was your first car?
VW Polo.
Oh.
In dusky royal blue.
Oh, mine was a Citroen C1.
Was it? Nice. Okay, lovely. So yes, that was a little reminder of a younger William.
So how were they in the bungalow?
They're not in the bungalow. The bungalow is gone.
How much champagne did they have?
They had no champagne.
Did they not?
No.
And what's your new room like now? Do you have your own room or is it a guest room?
No, it's a guest room.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's ridiculous. We've moved out. What's the point of me having my own bedroom?
How many bedrooms is it?
It's got that are configured as bedrooms 3.
Oh, okay.
But then there are rooms upstairs that, like my father's study, and like a sort of arts and crafts room.
An arts and crafts room?
Well, it's not. James has set up a little voiceover studio in it, and it's got my mother's easel.
He don't even live there. James has got his own bloody flat.
Yes, but he doesn't have room for a voiceover studio.
Oh, for God's sake. What's the Wi-Fi like? Because notoriously in the last place it was
It's much better.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but much better.
It's always so sweet when I go round. They always make me a picky tea and loads of bread, don't they?
They do. We had a picky lunch.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It was very in at the moment, picky teas. Everyone's having picky bits in the garden.
Oh, you're a trendsetter.
Attention, G and Divas.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Your Diva Espana code to enter the prize draw is 9S15.
Oh, there we go, G and Divas. It's another chance for you to join us in Benidorm in August. There's your Diva Espana prize code given out by producer Ben's Big Bing Bong.
It's 9S for shit 15. That's 9S15. That's your Diva Espana code to enter the prize draw. The code will work from the 20th of June 2023 until the end of the day on the 25th of June 2023. So if you're listening back to old Sexted episodes, you're too late.
Yes, all the terms and conditions are on the website, and the website is how you enter, sextedmyboss.com, and you can only enter if you're in the UK, so apologies to international G and Divas.
There's also no, that's annoying, I won't do it that.
Yeah. There's also a second chance to win this week if you listen to us on Amazon Music.
We've dropped an episode with another code on that feed, so you've got double the chances to win thanks to Amazon Music. And if you miss out this time, don't worry, there are many more places on the plane to be won next week. Good luck! Diva Espana! Cha-cha-cha.
Right, thank you. Put your maracas away. Put them down. Drop them. I feel ill.
Ay, 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 like your coconut. Your plumpy, juicy raisins are divine. Your apple sliced bananas and your hazelnuts. Quiche de colo is divine. Cha-cha-cha. I'm sorry, but I'd be a good exotic dancer. I'd love to work in a boudoir.
It can be arranged.
It could be arranged.
Wow, okay. Should we go on to William's Etymology of the Week?
Oh, yes. What are you going to tell us about this week?
Why do they have top tables at weddings?
So you can see the bride and groom. What else?
It's not quite that. I'll tell you more after these messages.
Okay, G-Divas, thanks for sticking with us. I know there's a lot to take in this episode with the Diva Espana code and everything like that, but remember, it's dead easy to enter, and the code this week is 9S15. 9S15. You just got to go to sexedmyboss.com. It's saying it's easy. What is it?
Sexedmyboss.com.
Sexedmyboss.com. William's Etymology of the Week, please.
Yes, why do we sit on top tables, or why do we have top tables at weddings?
Well, if it's someone's wedding,
yes,
they're at the top table so all the guests can see them. Thank you. Should we go to listeners' questions?
No, there's obviously an element of that, but it's a status thing. It goes back to the medieval times, and the royal family or the highest-ranking aristocrats would sit along a long table at the back of the dining hall or the hall, and it would often be raised. It's not raised now necessarily at weddings, but it was back then in sort of Tudor times, and you'd only sit along one side of it. And the top table was the table that had the linens on it, so the tablecloth, the napkins, and unlike everyone else who was sitting on benches, the top table had chairs. Again, it was a status thing. And so you thus put the highest ranking people on that table to show that they were of high status, which is what you do with conventionally the bride and the groom, or the couple getting married, potentially the parents of those getting married, maybe the best man, maybe the chief bridesmaid. They sit along the top table, but it all goes back to Tudor times.
So what if you had a wedding these days, and at the top table you had the bride and the groom, parents, bridesmaid. Does the
bridesmaids don't normally go on the top table?
Does their partner sit with them? No.
It depends on how long your top table is.
And then you had the best man. What if there was royalty coming to the wedding? Or a dame or something? Would you put them on the top table?
No, I wouldn't put a dame on the top table. If there was a member of the royal family, I would perhaps, yes, reconfigure that.
Would you actually? Yeah. So royal family should, if they've been invited to your wedding, be at the top table?
You would put, let's make it easy and say the king was coming to your wedding. The king would actually go in seat number 1. And then...
It's your bloody wedding.
Well, then don't invite them. You want the king at your wedding. You're only creating problems for yourself.
Can you imagine sending a king one of those pre-menus that you've got to pick?
I'm not going to say anything, but yes.
What?
No.
What?
No, I'm not saying
Can you imagine sending him and Camilla had to pick what they wanted?
Queen Camilla.
Starter. Yeah, Queen Camilla, sorry.
Yes, thank you.
So if they came to your wedding, they'd have to sit in your seat?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. It's your big day.
Don't throw etiquette back at me, thank you very much.
Well. You probably wouldn't invite them anyway because they'd outshine you, wouldn't they?
Enough queens at our wedding. That said, we didn't have a top table because obviously it was a gay wedding, so we felt having a top table might be discriminatory. Funny. So there we go. Should we go on to the listeners' problems?
Yes, please.
This one is from Scott in Singapore. Fantastic place. Hello, gentlemen.
I want to go.
It's good. I've been happily married to my wife for 8 years. During this time, we have slowly graduated from burping in front of each other to farting and even peeing. Lovely. My wife now thinks it's okay to poo in each other's presence too. She recently got out of bed, headed to the ensuite, and continued a conversation about upcoming travel plans with me whilst keeping the ensuite door open. Whilst I take it as a great compliment that my darling wife feels she can be so relaxed in my company, I am not comfortable with this development. Question: when, if ever, is it okay to poo in front of your partner? From Scott in Singapore. Wow.
I mean,
I thought we weren't doing poo.
I think it's fine. If you're comfortable with, well, they're clearly not comfortable, but I think it's just a sign of a loving relationship, isn't it?
So, Scott, your wife clearly thinks it is. Scott, you clearly think it isn't. So you need to have a chat and agree upon a happy medium and say, "This, I don't really like it." I would say, Scott, if you don't like it, that's what would win. And you just say, "Look, darling, you do your business. You have your little private time, and we'll chat afterwards."
I think I've told you this, but I remember when a mate stayed at my house and he found it really weird that I was in the shower. My dad was having a shit, and our Dominic was brushing his teeth at the same time in the same bathroom.
That is weird.
Yeah. And you look back now and you think, probably is, but it was quite a small...
It's not probably.
It's quite a small house, and we only had one bathroom.
Right.
So...
Do you not just cross your legs or have a shower in the sink or whatever you did in the north?
I didn't shower in the sink. We got bathed in the sink as kids.
That was it, yes.
I know.
I would, Scott, I think it's all down to communication. If you're not comfortable with it, then fair enough. And I think you tell your wife, and hopefully she doesn't talk to you and she shuts the door.
I think it's the sign of a very loving, comfortable relationship.
Yeah, that's the positive to take from this. Is clearly that you're got a great relationship, but I do think there should be an element of mystery in a relationship.
Okay. Yeah.
This next one is from Inna. Dear William Jordan and esteemed producer Ben, my husband and I have a disagreement, and we want you guys to solve it for us once and for all. When we go out to eat, my husband has a habit of paying for the entire group and saying that he will send everyone a text with how much they have to pay him back. That's not the problem. It's easier that way for everyone. However, he is kind of a scatterbrain, and so he often sends these requests months later at a time when he remembers that he has to get his finances in order. We don't have shared finances, so it's his money, not mine. For example, we went out to eat with friends to a pretty expensive restaurant almost 9 months ago, and this week he wanted to ask them to pay him back. I think that after a certain amount of time, you just can't do that anymore.
It's a great question.
They probably weren't counting on this anymore, so maybe they don't have the money right now and have to cut back on certain things to be able to pay him. I think that he just needs to get his financial shit together sooner, but he doesn't see the problem. What do you think? Who's in the right in this situation? Love, Inna.
Inna, I kind of agree with you. I need to send it within the first week, after the first couple of days after the meal. You can't.
There's a statute of limitations here, and if he's insisting, I know it is easier for one person to pay, but 9 months later, even 1 month later, no.
Also, hear me out. Right, let's get this myth over. It's really not that hard to share a bill now. It really isn't. I know there might be a lot, especially if it's only two. You just half it. One tap of the card each.
Yeah, well, halving it is easy. It's when there's like 8 of you, it becomes tricky.
Well, no, it's not.
Well, you divide it equally by the number of people there.
Yeah, and then you tap it 4 times and just go bosh, 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 bosh.
Or the tapping or using Apple Pay or Android Pay or whatever it's called is a lot easier because there's no limit on that. But yeah, if Inna, your husband, is suggesting that he pays because it's easier, I do also agree. I agree with him. Nothing ruins a meal more than maths, having to sort of work it out at the end. So if he wants to do it all himself to save hassle, not a problem, but he has to do it within a week.
Yeah, 9 months later. Christ, they could have had a baby in that time.
Yes, exactly. Life can be very different for all of us in 9 months' time.
Yeah. I've been going Android, by the way.
Why?
I knew that would wind you up.
Why?
Because
Why?
Oh, chill.
All your devices are Apple.
Chill your bean. Right, because I've read an article. A lot of Android phones are meant to be way better. Like, the cameras on Samsungs and stuff are well better, aren't they? Look at your face. You're such an Apple bitch.
Just life is easy when you're... Okay, and I don't mind if you do Android, but then have everything sort of Android. But when you have adopted one particular ecosystem, to use the technical term, it's much easier to stay within that... Not now.
I knew that. I am genuine thing. Apparently, like, Android phones are meant to be well better.
Phones?
Phones. Well better.
Right. Just stick with what you've got.
I need to get my new... Will you come with me and get a new phone? I know you love old like that.
Yeah, well, wait until September because they've got another one coming out.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll wait till September
yeah.
then, yeah. Okay.
This one is from Melanie. Dear William Jordan, EPB and Diego.
Oh, guys, they've not given me a mention in ages.
The other day as I
do the best Diego impression when I've got my braces in. Get more of a lift.
The other day as I was parking in front of my house, a rather spectacular parallel park, if I do say so myself.
Did you take a picture like I did? Do you remember when I did one?
Yes.
I kept going. Honestly, I went out 4 times that night, hands on hips, just looking at it. So impressed.
And I saw a young woman walking her dog along the sidewalk. They're American. To my surprise, both she and her dog stepped off the sidewalk and walked right into and around my front yard so the dog could do its business. Fortunately, my yard didn't meet the dog's lavatory standards and both the dog and owner were soon on their way. My question is it poor pet etiquette to tramp around in someone's front yard while their dog decides whether or not to evacuate its bowels? Another poo one, lovely. And if so, is it acceptable to ask someone to please stay at the edge of the property and not go to the middle of the lawn? I realise it's only grass, but it still seems somewhat of a violation to have a stranger that far onto my property. Perhaps it's just me. Sincerely, Melanie.
I had this a few weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You don't have a yard.
And my garden woke up and there was a German Shepherd shitting on it. Next day he brought his dog. The old ones are the best,
yes,
William.
and that's a very old one.
No, I there's a couple of things I want to ask you here. I do think if you're walking the dog and you're out on the front yard or whatever you call it in America, I don't think you let the dog shit
not on someone else's property.
No, you
Absolutely
move the dog
not.
along. Or if you do, like, I'm really sorry, I'll clear it up, I'm so sorry, you apologise. Yeah, you can't just let a dog go in shitting on people's gardens willy-nilly. I think you're in the right here, Melanie.
Yeah, I would agree. I would probably just tell them to, push off.
Yeah, I think if they go on, if they're off the lead and just walk along your grass, that's fine, but they can't.
Yeah, if the owner's going like, Fido, come back here, fair enough.
Fido?
Well, I'm just, generic dog name, then...
Fido? It's well posh. Fido, come along.
What would your generic dog name be?
Rex.
That means king. So
Rex.
Don't come at me with posh.
Hang on, Rex.
Yes.
Rex is a proper dog's name.
Yes, it's Latin for king.
Or Milo.
Excuse me, I would say Milo and Rex are posher than Fido.
No, Milo and Rex are proper dog names.
Milo is like Yummy Mummies call their children Milo.
Daisy.
Yeah.
No, that's not. I actually know quite a lot of daisies. What are some other dog names? Hey, Kipper the dog.
Bailey.
What?
Bailey?
No, a couple of kids called Bailey. Do you remember that theme tune?
Kipper the dog now.
No, that's a toad, not a frog. He can do this, and he can do that. Not like any old cat. That's Kipper the dog. Anyway.
But Melanie, I agree. People should not be letting their pets do their business on your garden.
UK's leading etiquette expert.
Yes.
Where are you with dogs on leads? Should dogs be on leads in general?
Well, it depends where.
Well, in the park. If there's kids.
If there's a signage saying keep dogs on leads, then yes, they should be on a lead.
Oh, God.
Well, if there's signage, if there's clear signage, then yes, of course they should be on a lead.
You're like a communist, you.
I don't make the rules, I just enjoy them. It's a Dr. Fraser Crane. It's a Dr. Fraser Crane quote.
So you think dogs should be on leads?
If there is clear signage, then yes.
Okay.
Depends how well trained they are. Jonathan's dog Poppy, who you've now met, incredibly well trained.
But everyone thinks their dog's well trained.
Yeah, but Jonathan's dog is, yeah.
She was sweet, was Poppy.
Yeah.
Okay. A leash or a lead, what would you say?
I'd say lead.
A lead.
Yeah, I don't know the difference.
What about if it was a human?
That's a bit weird.
Were they on a lead or a leash?
They'll, on whatever I tell them.
Should we do one more quickly?
All right, one final one. This is from Anonymous. Dear William and Jordan, I never thought I'd be writing in for advice, but well, here I am. I'm sure we've all experienced a friend who we may have lost touch with and tried to get back in touch with at some point or another. A year ago, I got a call from someone who I hadn't spoken to since at least 2017.
Oh, wow.
I had COVID at the time, so didn't answer and never got back to him.
In 17?
2017.
They had COVID in 2017?
No. They hadn't spoken to them since 2017. And a year ago, they got a call from someone. And at the time that call happened, they had COVID. However, late last Sunday, my phone buzzed with a message from the same person saying, "Hey, I know it's been a long time and a lot has happened, but how are you? Just trying to reconnect with some old friends as my social life isn't ideal RN," which means right now. This person was a good friend of mine for at least 2 years. Not gonna lie, we had some good times, but towards the end he started to make comments about people I had dated and stirred shit. I eventually moved to university, lived in Germany, and now I work a 60-hour-week job trying to build a career for myself. Clearly I've changed in the last 5 years, and at the moment I barely have time for myself, yet alone my (5) friends. I don't really want to see or talk to this person. I've tried asking a couple of friends and colleagues for advice, and so far I have been told to politely decline or entertain him and say, "Yeah, sounds good," but never actually meet up with him. Personally, I've considered just blocking him and moving on with my life, but I want your expert advice. What is the etiquette when someone you haven't spoken to in 6 years and messages you tries to reconnect? Much love, Anonymous.
I mean, this is hard. I'm worried here because only last week we were saying to someone, yeah, ring your friend. Do you not remember? Was it last week before? Who was saying, I really want to get in touch with an old friend.
But I think in that instance it was different because they wanted to and they felt a bit bad. Anonymous here is fairly neutral.
But we were saying, yeah, get back in touch. So I don't want this to put anyone off who's thinking about getting back in touch and reconnecting with an old friend. Because they might not want to reconvene.
Yeah.
But my advice here is going to sound horrible. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. Don't respond.
Yeah, I think if you're going to take the not wanting to reconnect, you don't need to send any message.
Yeah, and if they continue to message you, then you just send a generic, vague message, and that's my. But for now, I know it sounds really ignorant, but I wouldn't respond. And then if they get back to you again, text you, just say, "Hey, yeah, sounds good. I'm just really busy at the moment." That kind of thing.
Yeah,
we're good at this.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't respond at all. If you don't want to meet up, don't respond. If you do want to meet up, then you respond, and that gives the inference that you are willing to have a chat and meet up. But look, I would also say they were a friend at some point. They're clearly struggling. They've said that their social life isn't ideal RN, and so I would perhaps, if you want to be generous and you have the time, I know you work a 60-hour-a-week job, but if you do have the time to meet up, or even just to give them a phone call, maybe then there's less commitment from you. You don't have to go out of your way too much to go to a physical location, just to chat and check they're okay. Did you reconnect with your friend?
Yeah, I did actually.
You did?
Yeah.
How did it go?
We're meeting this week.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good. Well done. So Thanks. Jordan's practiced what he preaches.
As always, remember you can listen every Tuesday and Friday. You can watch us on YouTube on Sundays, and you can share us on your socials all week. You can send your tales of trepidation to help@sextedmyboss.com. You can tweet us or send us a message on Instagram @sextedmyboss, or you can write to William, who promises a handwritten reply in his own letterhead paper. The address is on the website sextedmyboss.com. We'll see you on Friday.
Goodbye.